Well, welcome back to this episode of Paint Society, the channel where the learning doesn't stop when the video ends. Today, in this video, I'm going to show you just a simple trick that can greatly improve your paint jobs when painting a hood or a flat surface, whether you're in a paint booth or if you're at home painting in a home garage or even outside. And in the paint shop, we have fenders and we have doors, and then of course we have the hoods that really show how flat and smooth your paint work is. And we want to get you to a point where you don't need to buff every little thing. And I'm approaching my 18th year painting, and whether that was at home or professionally, I still struggle with the same problem, getting it nice and flat. So how long have you been painting? Have you been painting starting off just for a few years? Are you new to painting? Or how long have you been in the body shop? Or maybe you just paint in your own home, in your own shop? I would love to know. Let me know down in the comments. Now the big issue is getting it nice and smooth. Yes, now you can take this hood and you can hang it and paint it, but that won't give you the same flatness that this vehicle is supposed to have, or this panel is supposed to have when it is on the car. You see, fenders or any side panels are gonna have the same texture, but a flat panel will be much smoother, whether that's the hood, roof, or trunk. So our first step is going to be to get some sealer on here. Now, do you need to seal? Let's talk about that. Well, this actual panel has had a lot of body work, been primed a couple times because they want to keep the OEM original panel. And well, we're going to be doing black, so we're going to be using a black sealer here. I like it because we can sand this with 320, put a nice sealer coat on, and we only need to use about 1 or 2 coats of base. But if you're at home and you're scared that that's going to introduce too much dirt or debris, skip it, sand it up to P600, and then put your base right over it. And I know another problem you're running into when you go into those paint stores. You ask for sealer and they don't know what you're talking about. It's like these guys that work behind the counter, they really don't know the product. So you need to depend on me or someone that knows a little bit about paint to give you those part numbers or whatever you might need so you can walk in there and you can get it. Basically, there's sometimes like a primer sealer, which can be mixed up as a primer or a sealer, depending on the additives and how it's mixed up to the technical data sheet. Then there's some just sealers, but nowadays you'll find that it's primer or a sealer mixed into one, and you just have to mix it differently with different additives. So I know that U-Pol has it, I know that Nason has it, I know a whole bunch of other brands that probably all have primer sealers. You just need to know what you're looking at when you go into the paint store. For us, it's color build, that's what we're gonna be using. So let's lay it down first, and I'm gonna show you the technique we're gonna use in order to get that smoother finish. It's gonna require a little work to get it, but it's really gonna help you out. So first step, we're gonna use the Ion Star. In a body shop, I'm gonna strongly recommend it. We're gonna use our tack rag first to get any sort of lint or debris. And again, these are those newer tack rags. They're not the sticky, tacky, weird ones that are stringy. This will pick up any sort of debris and it won't leave that weird residue that you're used to when it comes to using traditional tack rags. Now, once we do that, again, in a body shop, I'm gonna recommend using the anti-static gun. It's gonna de-static the panel. At home, I'm on the fence about it. It does help out, but it's not gonna save everything. So long sweeping motions is all you're gonna need to do. And at this point, we're ready for our sealer coat. We're gonna be using a W400 WBX air cap. Now, this is the current version, but something newer and nicer is coming from Iwata, so hang tight. But this is still gonna put it nice and flat, nice and smooth. I'm gonna have the fan wide open all the way to the left. We got that beautiful fan. And then I'm gonna have our fluid wide open. We're gonna spray this in or around 23, 24 PSI. Now when we lay this down, it's very crucial not to put it on dry. If you put it on dry, you are doing yourself a big disservice because it's gonna land gritty and then your base and then your clear is gonna follow gritty. So nice and wet, nice and smooth. Iwaters are a little bit of a slower gun, so just take your time with it and lay it down and watch it. Paint from the side, watch it go down. Make sure we're having nice even strokes as best as possible. Your technique will dictate the final outcome of every paint job. So practice every day, every job on getting better. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Perfect. Then waste no time, pick up that wet edge, around 75% overlap.
Basically what that means is about 25% new paint is being applied as we move across the whole entire hood. I'm going to lay this on a little bit wetter than the rest of the panels, again, because it's a flatter panel. The flatter panels are going to want to dry out. They're going to want to show every little imperfection. It's your job to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, very important, we let this flash properly. And that is the simplest thing in painting cars, is the hardest thing to do. Wait, wait, wait. Be patient. Let the chemicals flash. It's going to take you longer to recover from trying to get on something quicker than it will to actually wait and let it flash and do it properly, rather than get yourself into a problem or some sort of reaction is happening or something is not drying properly. You got to go back and redo it. Wait, wait, wait. We're going to wait here 20 minutes for this flash, and we're going to come back. We're back here after 20 minutes. Look how it flashed. It's nice and dull. This is what we want. Most sealers are going to flash like this. If it doesn't flash like this, at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you're good to go. We're going to be using the DeVilbiss DV1. This is a base coat gun. It's got a 1.3 in it. We're spraying around 18 PSI. We're going to lay it on a little bit more wetter so it goes smooth. Again, if you don't lay on a flat panel medium wet, not full wet, I don't want it glossy, medium wet, it's not going to lay down smooth. So don't go too far of a distance. I want you to move in, I would say a good 5 inches, no more than that is where you should be around. I want you to watch. I'm going to demonstrate and talk while I do it. Now we're always going to start at the end of the hood. We never start in the middle and work out. That's a big no-no. So we're going to start here and we're going to move. But this time we're going to move around a 85% overlap. So we're going to have even more of an overlap of the base coat we're putting on. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but this will ensure a wetter job. Okay? Perfect. Now on camera, it's going to look super glossy. It's not like that in real person. So I don't want you guys to get confused with the lesson I'm teaching here. Medium wet. And then when this flashes at about 15 minutes, it will be completely different looking. It will be more of a satin finish. And since we sealed it in black, we really only need, I would say, one more coat. But before we do that coat, I'm going to show you the little trick that you can use, whether you're in a booth or whether you're at home. Perfect. So we take a look here. It looks nice and super shiny, but in real life, it's more of a satin. But the reflection gives it that look that it's glossy, but it's not. So at any rate, we're going to give this 15 to 20 minutes. And we're going to come back and we're going to show you something that you can use to get a clean paint job. After 25 minutes, we're ready for this next step. Now, if you're at home, give it 45 minutes. This really needs to be dry. We're going to take this K800 hand pad. I'll leave the link in the description. Guys, this is going to show us if we have any dirt or debris in our base coat. You don't want to use any smoother than this. You don't want to use any rougher than this. You're just going to go over the surface. You're going to feel it, and this is going to sand any sort of nib that you have, because the nibs really don't come in the clear. They're there in the base, and the clear highlights any sort of debris that is in the paint. So you're going to use this little trick here to get that smooth finish. And as far as I can feel, there's no areas that really need any more sanding. If I found an area that this was kind of going over and it was like a bump, then I would take my time and I would sand out that little area real quick. And that's why I like the cushion, because it's not aggressive on the hand pad, and you can sand it lightly without leaving any sort of marks. Okay? So you can see here it's nice and dry. And we're gonna leave it just like that. Now, how do we clean this now? Well, what I like to do is use some water-based cleaner over it, just to get it nice and clean and smooth again. And I'll spray it directly on the towel. And all we basically want to do is just run it over a couple times and get any of that dirt or debris or any of that
sort of powder left over from that actual scuffing. If you really, really need to get on it, then you can take a DA to it with that 800 and scuff it down if you're at home. But again, at this point, it just needed a light scuffing. Now, where do we go from here? Since it has full coverage, right now I could clear after the first coat because we used a black sealer. Where do we go from here now? We scuffed it, we can't clear it because we've distorted the color. If we were to clear this, we might see little streaks everywhere. We're gonna put one light coat on it and it's done. And then what happens is something's in that. Well, you'll clear it, you'll buff it. But this will greatly minimize any dirt that was in the sealer or any dirt that was in coat 1, 2, or 3 that you might be putting on. Here's what you do. You get full coverage first, you scuff the last coat, and then you put one more coat on it after that. So whether your full coverage is 1, 2, or 3 coats, whatever it might be, you scuff that last coat, and then you can put the last coat on what we're gonna do right now. And we've run over it a few times, guys. We've been touching it a lot. So what does that mean? That means that I'm gonna grab my static gun, the Ion Star, and I'm gonna go over it, because every time you touch a panel, you start to build that static again. And I don't wanna buff black. Who here likes to buff a black car? Not me. So I'll take a few extra minutes in the booth to kind of get this technique down. So when it comes time to clearing, I know that I'll have a nice finish that I'm proud of. So we'll lay this on the same way that we did that first initial coat, medium wet, and this coat should theoretically be completely dust free. Now, I'm not here to lie to you. Things will happen, something will fall in this, there will be a couple areas to polish, but you will significantly cut your trash in half if you are at home painting, and if you're in a professional environment where there is good air movement, where you do get better paint jobs, you will limit greatly the amount of dirt and polishing you'll have. You probably will get jobs that you will not need to polish at all, especially on a black vehicle. That is very, very important. So we're done here. We're gonna allow this time to dry. We have a good 25 minutes. We're gonna clear it, and we're gonna show you the results of that step. We're now ready for clear coat. It's been 30 minutes. All we need to do is apply 2 coats wet, around 80% overlap, and we're gonna see how effective stuffing down that last coat really is. We're gonna start here again at the edge and move over and overpass. We're using the Series 2 WS400. This clear coat from Sikkens is called PC. I'm in love with this clear coat. It's more for a little bit more production, but I love the finish that it gives. It's a beautiful finish that does not require any buffing. It holds a beautiful shine. So we're gonna keep it moving. On the first coat, you want it medium wet. We don't wanna soak it down because we don't wanna get it too wet and have issues with the second coat with solvent pop. The problem is with black, guys, you want it to look so good, so you end up putting it on really wet and a lot of coats, and it looks great when you're done spraying, but later on it dies back and it solvent pops, doesn't look too good. So we're gonna carry on here and just pick up in the middle on that wet edge, and it's looking really good. As I'm looking at the rest of the paint, as I spray the paint I'm applying, I can see just a beautiful finish so far, a finish that I'm really proud of, and a finish that does not look anything like it needs to be touched with a buffer. So that will be determined after the second coat. And we'll finish up right here, and I'll talk about dry times for this coat right here and why it's so important that you give enough time for this coat to tack up and flash up. So we just put down that first coat of clear. Now the reason why you really want to let that tack up, I'm going to give it about 15 minutes, is because I want it to kind of bridge over and create a barrier so that new clear can stack on top instead of just meshing right in with the first. By allowing that first coat to really dry enough, to flash enough, we can build on the second, so if you have any little dirt, it will build on it and float over it You don't want to concentrate on one area, guys. That second coat should be it, but you can put one more third coat on if you want, but wait even longer, double the time, 30 minutes between second and third if you need to get another coat on there to wet sand and polish or whatever it might be. But again, trying to stack coats on top of coats on top of coats on top of coats for clear is a bad idea to get rid of trash. It will look great. You'll think, wow, this looks great. It will not dry great. We're gonna give it about 10 to 15 minutes, 15 minutes tops here. Put that second coat down, and I'm gonna move a little slower, and you're gonna see the gloss really just come to life. Let's let it dry.
Here we go, series 2, again, full fan, full fluid, 26 PSI. You want this to be a wetter coat, and how am I gonna do that? By slowing down. I'm not changing anything about the gun, I'm just changing the technique. Let me show you guys what that looks like here. 26 PSI, and I'm gonna slow down the technique. I'm gonna get my edges too. Slow down the technique. By slowing down the technique, I'm allowing the clear coat to have a little bit more time to get on the panel. Sometimes if you rush it, you're going a little bit too fast because you're scared. That clear isn't going to have the time to lay down on that panel. By moving slower now, I'm allowing the time for it to lay down. I'm giving enough time for that clear to hit the panel and enough clear on that area that I'm spraying that it has enough droplets so those droplets can mesh together and create a smooth surface. That's all clear coat is. A bunch of small, tiny droplets coming together to make a beautiful, smooth finish. And again, reach over to the center of that hood, and that's where the dry areas will be, especially if this hood is on a car, because that area for the most part is going to be the toughest reach. So you reach over toward the middle, pick up that paint again, and then move that same slow pace, watching the paint go on. And I want you to check now, as the paint's going on, if you got a dry spot, now is the time to get some clear coat on it. Because if you try to come back and put some clear coat in it, even a few moments later, what can happen is if that clear is already starting to tack up, it will not mesh in nice and smooth, depending on the temperature. But this looks really good. This looks really good. I'm gonna go back, I see a little bit here. You don't wanna do too much because it will flow out on you. Be careful, it will flow out. Flow out means after you think it's drying, flow out means basically after you're done spraying, it's gonna start to kind of move around and smooth out. And that's where you would get your runs from. So I'm not gonna put anything more on this because I like the way it looks. And we're gonna go ahead and allow this to bake, dry, and we're gonna take a look at it and get some final thoughts. And after a bake, this is what it looks like, guys. You can see the finish still looks brilliant. We don't have any solvent pop because we waited enough time in between coats. We got a beautiful finish, and let's look for dirt. We're gonna check for dirt. We're gonna see if we have any. We've got one little guy right in here. And that's it. There's one right here. There's two. So we've got, from what I can see now, 2 pieces of dirt. And 2 pieces of dirt that you might not even see outside. So that will get buffed out because this is a restoration job and we want it to come out really nice. But that is how you can take those flat panels. You can apply this to any panel really, but those flat panels and really get them clean. I hope this helps you on your next project. Let me know again how long you've been in the industry for, how long you've actually been painting, maybe you do it yourself at home or at your own shop. I'd love to know down in the comments. Guys, this is Brian from Paint Side reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. See you guys on the next episode.